Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Tech Tuesday on the Educational AD Podcast. We're going to be right back with this week's tech guest, but as always, we're going to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. Now, these are companies I used as an athletic director. Some of them I used every single day, and you should be using them too. So take 3 minutes, listen to our shout outs, then listen to our Tech Tuesday guest, and then go and visit these sponsors. I'm telling you, you're going to be glad you did. Here we go. We want to thank our good friends at Snap Raise for their support of the podcast. Have you ever spent weeks and weeks with a fundraiser and been disappointed in the results? Well, I'm telling you, those days are gone. Go to snapraise.com. We used it at our school with tremendous success, and so will you. Go to SnapRaise, check out all their other great platforms. But if you're looking for a fundraiser, you just found it, and it's SnapRaise. We also want to say thanks to Vital Signs Wall of Fame. If you're looking for a really cool way to display your school record boards or your school's Hall of Fame, go to their website and take a look at their interactive touchscreen video consoles. You put one of their units in your gym lobby or your main school hallway, it's going to be like a magnet for kids, for coaches. How about sponsors? Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check out their great products today. We also want to thank Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. My assistant athletic director, along with thousands of others, got his master's through the Ohio program. And while he was earning his degree, he also completed 11 NIAAA leadership training courses at no extra charge. Check out Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. We also want to say thank you to Home Campus. Home Campus is the official sports administration platform for a number of states, thousands of ADs, and even if your state uses a different platform, you can still be a home campus school. I'm telling you, their athletic eligibility and clearance platform alone is a game changer. Go to homecampus.com. Don't forget to mention the podcast. That's homecampus.com. We also want to thank our friends at Gipper. Go to Gipper.com. Let their team turn you into a social media marketing guru, whether it's a simple social media post to celebrate a victory or an entire newsletter that showcases the great things your athletic department is doing. The team at Gipper will have you up and running in no time. It's professional graphic design made easy. That's Gipper.com. We'd like to thank Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to their website and you can schedule a live web demo to see their products in action. You've heard me say before, probably the best purchase I ever made as an athletic director was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com for more information. We want to say thanks to our good friends at Hometown. Hometown is changing the game for schools and organizations with their solutions that include things like, well, digital ticketing, big surprise, but how about athletic website construction, fee-free fundraising, and a whole lot more. Whether you're an AD, a principal, even a head coach, Hometown is going to show you how to save time, raise more money, and bring your community together. That's hometown.com. We also want to thank Athletic Surveys. You know, at my school, we use surveys for everything, for student athletes, for coaches, for teachers, and for parents. And here's the cool thing. The information that would come back on these surveys, almost always over the top positive. I'm talking 98% approval, and it'll be the same for you. But we also got to hear from our squeaky wheel parents, but we could hear the concerns, usually address them before they turned into something big. But having that 98% approval data, incredibly valuable, especially when you're visiting with a frustrated parent, or maybe your principal, or even your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that lets you take the pulse of everybody in your program. And we want to say thanks to Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years. As an athletic director, I made sure our school was a Huddle school. And our coaches, our student athletes, even our parents just loved the Huddle platform. Go to huddle.com. Join the 8 million users and find out how to turn your school into a Huddle school. That's huddle.com. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Tech Tuesday on the Educational AD Podcast. We're going up to Maryland today, and our guests, first of all, I want to introduce Kurisha Hoffman. She is the Director of Athletics at Easton High School, and of course, that's in Maryland. And she's joined by Kelsey Masters of Snap. You've heard me, listeners, say many times, how much we enjoy the Snap platform at my high school. So we're going to hear about all things Snap today. Kurisha, welcome to the Education Lady Podcast.
Thank you for having me today. I'm looking forward to having a chat with you guys about Snap.
Well, we're excited to hear how you use the platform at your school. And Kelsey, always great to talk to one of our good friends at Snap Raise. Welcome to the Educational Lady Podcast.
Thank you so much, Jake. Thank you for having us.
Okay. Well, let's go and jump right in. Kurisha, we like to kind of let our listeners have a chance to get to know our guests. We're going to start with you. As I like to say, give us your life story in 2 minutes. Where you grew up, where you went to college, how you ended up at Easton High School. Maybe we'll give you 3 minutes. Okay.
Sure, sounds great. So grew up in Baltimore County, played multi-sports at Towson High School and made my venture down to Salisbury University where I played softball for the good old Margie Knight and ended up staying on the shore, getting an opportunity in Talbot County and haven't left since. Been in the county for 18 years, been a AD for 10 years and a athletic supervisor for going on my fourth year. So I am all in for all sports. Softball's my passion, but seeing these kids grow and succeed is what I'm all about, not only on the field, court, or track, but in life as well. So happy to be here and happy to have my position.
Oh gosh, I just love to hear the stories about growing up and coming back. Now, when you were in high school, was Easton was that a rival? Was that in the neighborhood, or was that a different part of the state?
Yeah, so we are from what we call the Western Shore, where I grew up, and Easton is on the Eastern Shore. So we didn't really interact unless it was at local tournaments that were hosted, like holiday tournaments or anything. And we were in different 2A and 3A divisions, so we didn't see each other in playoffs or anything like that. But knew who they were just because traveling to the beach, over the summer and everything, knew the school and whatnot. But didn't interact too much during my high school days.
All right, all right. For somebody who's been in Florida now for 25 years, somebody says the beach, and I'm going, Maryland has a beach, so maybe I'm missing
The
out on
water's
that.
not as nice as down in Florida by any means, but
All right,
it gets our feet in the sand.
all right. Oh no, absolutely. Well, Kelsey, let's go and let the listeners have a chance to get to know you. I somewhat tease. I say we try to have an athletic director, and then we have a high pressure, slick salesperson from the company, and we know that's not true. So let our listeners get to know Kelsey Masters in 3 minutes.
Thank you, Jake. Yeah, I never saw myself really getting into sales. I did play tennis all through high school and college. I wasn't the best tennis player, but I loved being on a team, and I think that's what I really bring to Snap. And I absolutely love working with not only coaches but athletic directors because of how much time and energy they give to their jobs and the people in their community. It gives me a lot of purpose to give time and energy back to them with simple, easy solutions that we have with Snap. I've been with Snap for going on 5 years. I have two small boys. I live in South Jersey and I drive all down Delaware and Eastern Shore, Maryland to really help support my programs, my schools. Yeah, I go down to Easton at Kurisha. We became really close when I started catering her coaches meetings every season. And I would come in with my bags of Chick-fil-A and let her coaches know how I can help. And it's just being able to build these relationships has really brought me a lot of joy, and seeing the difference we're able to make in the programs with the money they're able to raise. And now the solutions we can bring to the admin level to just make all I want to do is make Carisha's job a little easier. And if I can do that, that means I'm doing my job well. So
I
We
love
appreciate
that. One of my great friends down here in Florida, he's still an athletic director, but he has a saying, he shares it with his coaches, but we all know it too. He goes, if we're meeting, we're eating. And so, having that catered, coaches meeting, very, very smart move on your part. Again, our listeners have heard me say for years how much we enjoyed and how effective SNAP raise was for our coaches. I still remember our football coach came to me and said, "Hey, can we have a meeting with this guy?" And yeah, I suppose, because we were a private school and we didn't do a lot of fundraising. But long story short, the rep came in, just did a fantastic job. We started with a football program. It was very successful, and it branched out to pretty much every sport that we had. And I just think it's a great platform. But I know Snap is a lot of other things now. Kurisha, let's come back to you. How do you use Snap, and how easy was your install when you became a Snap school?
Sure. So I met Kelsey. She came down to our conference and presented, of course, bringing food as always, because like you said, good meeting deserves good food. So was very convincing. A lot of us ADs on the shore talked about the SNAP program and what they felt about it. And I was like, give it a try. Why not? Some of our teams really could use the money to support the big items that they wanted. And it took a lot off my plate of trying to fundraise on myself with just trying to get sponsorships and everything. So we started with a couple teams. Not gonna lie, my football team was hesitant at first. They did letter writing and liked the, process of it. And then my coach was like, why am I having the kids write it out? Why am I doing all this work? And he said, all right, let's give it a try. And ever since then, it has been phenomenal for them. Their first year, they brought in over $15,000 to their program and had since gone up, and we've stuck with Snap ever since, so much so that we've now moved on to their registration platform and the FanX with their app building and created a one-stop shop for our school this year, which has been fantastic. Having that relationship with Kelsey and with them prior to allowed my higher ups to feel comfortable with moving forward with other aspects of what they offer. And it's been fantastic.
Now, I'm going to stick with you for a second, Kelsey. I'm going to come back to you, so don't leave us. Um, you started with the fundraising aspect, and then you mentioned FanX and some of the other features. How were those an easy integration too, or were there growing pains? Be truthful now.
Yeah, so the platform and the app was a process in the getting it set up and learning the different functions. There are so many different things. I apologize for that, but there's so many different levels of things that we can do with the registration platform that we were constantly asking questions or, asking if it could do this versus that. And they've been great in saying like, hey, we'll see how we can better that, moving forward, or we'll see if we can fix that issue. Their support team has been fantastic. But we do ask a lot of questions as ADs of what we want. We're very specific in what works for us. And sometimes they're like, well, that's what we got and that's our platform. And, is there anything else that we can help with? But it has been great. There has been, some, I don't want to say issues along the way. There have been some questions along the way to better understand. And for them, learning what ADs want or need to support us has been something that they're willing to listen to and sort of try and grow the product to adjust to what our needs are.
Right, and that growing with the company and that customer service is such a key part of any partnership. Um,
Absolutely.
Kelsey, looking back from your perspective as the account rep, what are some of the things that you remember that made the installation at Easton, a success story for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's funny that Kurisha brings up her football coach as being one of the first programs we got on the Raise platform, because I remember talking to him at the coaches meeting and he's like, "Are you telling me I don't have to lick envelopes? Like, is that really, I mean, that alone right there is kind of selling me." And it's been awesome working with Matt. Their football team is over $20,000 with their active campaign right now. So it's been really awesome to see it grow and just them take the Raise platform and run with it. But I think going to those coaches meetings has been invaluable to me in listening and learning of what ADs need and just easily integrating our solutions. And Kurisha is spot on to where we want to listen to what ADs and administrators need in their processes and how we can adapt and make that work. So the registration platform a lot of schools that I was listening to, they just didn't have an easy way for parents to upload physicals. There was a lot of paperwork involved that is just adding more and more time to everyone's day. So just hearing some pain points at the coaches meeting, I would go to the Bayside meetings where all the ADs on the Eastern Shore of Maryland were there and just presenting, this is the registration platform that we have. And then when the FanX app came involved, it can just be a one-stop shop where we can kind of bundle everything at really great pricing for programs. So we actually gave the Bayside Conference a really great deal on if you're a fundraising exclusive school with us and you want to use our mobile app platform, we can give you at a discounted rate. And the registration platform comes along with it. So I know on the Eastern Shore, those schools are ending up saving a lot of money just using a platform that comes along with them using the app. So my goal is to make people's jobs easier and to save them money. So, I feel like check, we're checking all the boxes here.
No, I appreciate you sharing that. And now I'm going to put you on the spot. We've heard from Kurisha, that listeners have heard from me. What's some of the other feedback you've gotten from other athletic directors who they're just using the fundraising platform, or they've gone all in with the one-stop shop? You're talking to that cranky old athletic director that's reluctant to embrace tech here. What's some of the feedback you've gotten from other ADs?
Yeah, I feel like what I keep hearing is they want a place for their families to have one place to go, to not have the constant questions from parents of how do I register? Where is this? When's the next game? Did the bus schedule change? It puts everything that you send out in communication in one single place. It gives it when a parent is asking questions, it's in the app. It's an app, and you can send push notifications so you can get ahead of those questions. So with the app, I think is a really invaluable communication piece, but it also brings in another revenue stream for schools. So I think that's a huge piece of it as well. Like Snap Raise is really going to help fund your programs, but that gives the athletic director another avenue to sell sponsorships. We can support up to 30 ad placements in the app that they can keep 100% of the revenue from. So it's just another added value tool to help support your programs.
Okay. And Kurisha, I'm going to toss that same question back to you. When you went all in, what were now that you're in, okay, and it's not a new thing, what's the feedback you get from parents?
The platform is really easy to utilize. It is a one-stop shop of being able to communicate with parents, being able to communicate with our student athletes, our coaches. It's all inclusive of uploading the physical. We haven't had any issues with them having to upload it. I will say the only problem that we've had, and not really sure if there's a way to adjust that. It all has to be one document, whereas their previous experience was they could do, one page, then one page, then one page. But as soon as we explained that aspect to them, they got it. They were like, oh, okay, I have to either, scan it all at once or take all the pictures and upload it just in one document and everything. But besides that, it has been a seamless transition from our previous platform to this platform, which is obviously made me very happy, as well as our athletic trainer who has done most of the registration for our athletes.
Kelsey, I know that, and you mentioned this too, that there's different levels that schools can kind of find out about the program. Like at my school, we were just doing the fundraising because that's really all that was available kind of at the time. Kurisha's all in at her school, but she started with fundraising. Can schools still come in at a different level? How does that work?
Absolutely. So, I mean, we still work on a team by team basis. So, if you have a football team that needs some money, we can help your football team run a Snap Raise fundraiser. But the more your team partners with us, the more we can give back to y'all. So, that is always our goal, is to help add on the value. So, if you want to do a fundraising exclusive with Snap Raise, where all of your teams use Snap for their fundraising online, we can absolutely still do that, but you'll get a discount on our other products like our registration software, our website management, and your mobile app. And what's great is being a tier 3 customer like Easton High School is, you actually get a price break on our SNAP fee. So your teams who are using SNAP-Raise get more percentage of their funds back to the program. So really great advantages that you can take for working more directly with us.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Really convenient for the schools.
Yeah.
Well, if listeners are interested in finding out more about the platform and the options, or if they just want to connect with you, Kelsey, what's the best way that they can get more information?
Absolutely. So I'm the rep for Delaware and the Eastern Shore of Maryland, and you can always reach me via email at kelsey.masters@snapraise.com, or you could do a self sign up on our website. If you go to snapraise.com and you are in a different part of the country, we have reps all over the country, and we're all here for the same reason, to really help you all get as much back from our program as possible. So you could do a self sign up on our website as well.
All right, very cool. And please make sure you tell them that you heard about it on the Educational AD podcast.
Absolutely.
Kurisha, sounds like you've got a tremendous program going there. If one of our listeners wanted to reach out, find out more about how you use Snap, or just pick your brain a little bit, add you to their network of ADs, what's the best way they can connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to, connect with other ADs. My email is khoffman@talbotschools.org. It's the fastest, easiest way to get a hold of me, and happy to chat and set up a Zoom, even if somebody wanted to touch base and get more information.
Well, Kurisha and Kelsey, thanks for sharing with our listeners today. All the best moving forward. And we're going to have to get you back on the podcast maybe this spring and do an update.
Sounds
Awesome.
great. Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
For our listeners, just a reminder that we upload the Zoom recordings of all of our interviews to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. We do Tech Tuesday just about every week and just about every day. We try to share stories and best practices from the world of athletics. So come back and join us again on the next episode of Tech Tuesday on the Educational AD Podcast. Have a great day. Hey, before we go, as always, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. We'll go and start with Snap. You've heard me say, you just heard Kurisha and Kelsey say what a great platform it is. It really is. You need to check out snapraise.com. Huddle, I used it as a football coach. As an AD, we were a Huddle school. Go to huddle.com. Athletic surveys. If you're not using a survey to take the pulse of your school, you're really missing out. Go to athleticsurveys.com. Gipper, let their team turn you into a social media marketing guru. That's Gipper.com. Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. You'll find them at sidelineinteractive.com. Hometown, go to hometown.com. Ohio University's online masters. Go to Ohio University for more information. And Home Campus, go to homecampus.com. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast.